Hi guys, welcome to another series. This is the third one I think I've launched. No, do you know what? It could be fourth. I've lost track. Lockdown has been a long time, as my guest who is on today will know. But as you realise, I'm not in my kit chin. I'm currently sat on my sofa because I need to keep my leg elevated. But so this is kit room. When I went through my kit collection a few episodes back, that was the first episode, and this is the first proper episode. Lockdown stopped me from traveling, but Zoom hasn't. So I'd like to welcome my guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself, who you are, and what do you do in the world of sport media?
Hey, I'm Alex, and basically I'm a photographer, but thanks to the pandemic, I've now become a professional Zoomer. I've become that person that spends more time on Zoom than in the sun. Being Australian-based, I've been in lockdown since March. So unlike yourself who's sitting on a couch, I've been sitting at a desk watching every day go by. But I'm a sports photographer and yeah, currently started my new sort of goal on YouTube. But I'm really excited to be on this podcast. And I think when we're talking basically about kits, I love connecting with others across the world.
That is the beauty of kits.
It is.
So we'll do a classic Oscars question. So who are you wearing?
Ooh, see, funny enough, I had a lot of choices, and I know you're a City fan and I'm a United fan. I have a selection of kits that I could have worn, but today I'm wearing the 17-18 away kit. I don't know, this kit here I'd like because it does reference the past, but it also was one of the earlier days of Adidas where I liked what they did. So yeah, I'm wearing that. What about yourself? That's a pretty tasty rendition of the brother, era.
Yeah, so this is the 1997 to 99 goalkeeper shirt. It's the only shirt from Kappa that I own. I've got a few score draw versions, but not I don't because being a men's medium, it's the most expensive size of shirt. So I managed to get my girlfriend the home shirt in a
Oh,
youth
nice.
large for £50. And if I want to get one, it's about 250. So I'm biding my time on that. However, I went into a retro clothes shop and I saw that had just opened up in Birmingham. I knew they were doing football shirts, and I walked in and I saw a Kappa trim hanging off a sleeve. So I was like, I don't care what it is. It's long sleeve. It's Kappa. I'm getting it. And I pulled it off, and it was this City goalkeeper shirt. I nearly cried. Um, I got it for £20, and I think classic football shirts have one up at the moment in a small for 175. So
That
that
is
is
you can call it gold digger, basically.
yeah, that is my steal. Like nothing will peak that. I'm sure someone will say that they have like a 1970s Brazil shirt they got off eBay for £2, but for a City fan, this is my grail. This is my. I will never sell it.
No, it's beautiful, kit. I think I've had many stories like that. There's one in here. I know you will ask me in the future of this podcast, but yeah, let's. I'm really excited to chat to you, mate.
Yeah, so we'll just jump right into it. To date of recording, which if there's anyone who really wants to know, it's Friday the 18th of September. Um, how many or for me, I'm not too sure Australia wise what the date is. um, they how many shirts do you have roughly?
Well, to answer the first question, it is the 18th still here. We've got 2 more hours to the 19th, so I'll be in the future. I'll let you know what the future holds.
Oh, please do.
To be honest, when it comes to kits and the number of kits, I think I stopped counting after one. I did notice my obsession with it. Currently, in my bedroom, I have an own drawer, probably about 40 kits rolled up in a special way my wife's taught me. I've been domesticated and cultured. And next to me here, I've probably got another, we say 40. And then in my cupboard, this is my study, by the way, in my cupboard, I probably have another 40 in there. So all up, my maths is correct. I would have just over 150 kits that I love.
Wow. Okay. Is it the Marie Kondo way of folding?
Funny enough, she just bought me this new thing where it's like a four-way flipper and you can put the kit down and it goes like left,
Yeah.
right, the bum, and then the top. And it's so perfect.
Pristine. Yeah, I think I might need to get one myself. Although all my shirts are currently on coat hangers, I think my wardrobe is. I think I've got about 120 odd shirts. I've got about 5 work shirts and 2 coats, and then that is my wardrobe.
See, if you were to go in, say, two couples, and I'll say a couple, and see who's got the bigger wardrobe size, I have the bigger wardrobe side. Unfortunately, I'm a hoarder when it comes to collecting, but I've got sneakers, I've got just the amount of Uniqlo shirts that I love, like that sort of grandpa collar, and then denim jackets. I love denim jackets.
We recently went through our wardrobes, and I think we discovered that I have more football shirts than my partner does clothes. And I was like, oh, I should slow down a little bit now.
And then you go and buy a new one that day, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. And I had two arrive in the last 2 days. So, and this was a couple of months ago. This is pre-lockdown. So, right. So, what got you into shirt collecting? You said you were a bit of a hoarder, but was there something that kickstarted it all?
Like I said before we started this episode, if FOMO was a person, fear of missing out, that is to anyone that doesn't know what the FOMO means, but I don't like missing out in a sense of feeling not a part of a conversation. And when I first bought my kit a couple of years ago, I saw sort of a memory to what I was when I was a kid with a lot of my Inter Milan kits and my Man United kits that my parents had bought me at the local markets. Now, of course, being that age and kits not being as valuable, there were fakes back then. But the memory of the Pirelli badge on my chest running around at training on a cold Thursday night in Australia's winter, I love that sort of memory of the kit. And when I bought my first, kit a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, I like these. And then, yeah, that sort of got me on top of it. And yeah, coming to the part where I'm now, I'm connecting with you. So that conversation of connecting with others is what makes me want to collect more.
Do you remember what kit you bought that was like, oh, okay, and then it snowballed from there? Because I know what mine was.
Oh, would have to be a Werder Bremen.
Ooh.
I don't have it behind me. It was a Werder Bremen kit. So my dad loves Werder Bremen. Being awkward, like sort of teams, that was our big thing. Like when it comes to basketball, everyone was Laker fans, and I was a Portland Timbers fan when I was like going in high school. And yeah, so Werder Bremen kit. Can't remember the exact one, but it was a Ozil era, and yeah, I had that. Can't remember exactly. I don't have it right now because I moved houses from my parents to here and I went missing. But
No,
yeah, that was one of my kits that got me onto it.
because I always had a collection of City shirts because I'd get one a season, and I think I managed to get a Inter Milan. I think it was a 2013 away shirt from a Nike factory store for a tenner. But the one that I bought, which was with my student loan, so thank you, the government. I got the 1994 Germany home shirt that was worn in
Oof.
that World Cup, and looking back, I wish I got the away shirt because that mint green blue color is phenomenal. But it here I am today in a lot of debt. No, uh, no, it was a great shirt, and I'm glad I own it.
Yeah, don't worry. We've got government payments here called JobKeeper, and I joke with my friends that I'm like, "Oh yeah, the payment came through. I'm gonna go buy myself a kit." But we all know that we're not the only ones that are using that money for football kits.
Yeah, it's nice to know we're not alone.
It's probably going to be a future like excuse why the government's gone into recession. Too many football kits.
100%, 100%. So walk us through your collection, if you will. Obviously, you say you've got 40 different, three piles of 40 scattered around your uh, home, but you've got a cover behind us. So let's get cracking. What have you
So
got?
like there's three different sort of segments of it. And there's actually another box in the garage that they're just kits that have rolled away and I'm not a huge fan of them. So we'll definitely speak about those too. The ones in my bedroom that are in the Marie Kondo style folded version, let's just say they're kits that I would wear and not worry if I got them dirty. So there's a lot of I'm trying to have a good memory here. Let's just say there's like an older sort of torn apart Celtic 2015 kit. There's a lot of like NWSL, so the women's league in the US. I got a few kits that were given to me by the Melbourne City women's team. So some of the players that play on dual sort of leagues in the US and here, they gave me a few of their kits. There's like random Thailand leagues. There's a Bangkok Glass jersey in there. I've got a Singaporean team sort of in there, but then you got my collection right behind me. So when it comes to collecting kits, I think what attracts me to a kit is maybe the aesthetic more so than the team. But I've also had a lot of good memories. I think if you look at my current kit, like being a United fan, I really connected to one kit. I don't know if should I mention it now, or is it too soon to mention this now?
Drop it in.
I should have written this down. My memory is like it's 11 o'clock almost there, so I'm pretty like half asleep. Would you guess this kit here?
No, no.
Sheffield Wednesday. I'm pretty sure. I can't. This is really bad poor form. But when I first saw this kit when I was in the UK, I was the first time in London. I saw someone wearing it up in Carnaby Street, and the color and design of the Puma King print on this kit it's just forever stuck with me. And I traveled to Barcelona next day and I spent hours and hours. I'm going to have to quickly Google this while I chat. But the thing about this kit is that I do miss the details that a lot of football manufacturers or just manufacturers themselves put to the kits these days. But you see it coming back in the Nike kits and Adidas kits now. I think Puma's done a lot more. You see it in Man City kits, the attention to detail with the smaller details. But this kit here is probably one of my favorite kits in my collection. I don't know why, but yeah.
93, 94, I think it is.
Yes, that's right. And I should remember that because that was my brother's birthday year. And that's why I try to connect the years to kits. I try to like connect people's birthdays to a kit.
That is amazing though. Like I like walking around and seeing people in shirts. It's happened. I've been asked about my shirt twice. One of them was actually on Carnaby Street as well. It was during the World Cup. I think it was just the day after the 2018 World Cup because I was in London to go see Eminem in Twickenham, and I had a 2000 to 2002 Spain shirt with Guardiola on the back. And I was in a shop that was just a pop-up shop with all the World Cup shirts in it. I was just having a look around. And someone asked me if I bought that shirt from there. And I think he tried to buy it off me, actually. I was like, no.
What, while you were working or walking around?
Yeah, well, I was wearing it. He was like, oh, how much do you want for it? I was like, I mean, no. I mean, the classic football shirts have still got loads. This is where I got it from. And then the other time was wearing the 94 Germany shirt. I was at a little village fair in Middlewich, which is a small town in Cheshire. I was wearing the 94 Germany shirt. I was just walking through. It was at the start of, it must have been the start of the same World Cup. I was just walking through, looking for something to eat. And a German guy stops me and goes, "That's an amazing shirt." I was like, "What are you doing here? What is a German person doing in the northwest of England at a small fair when the World Cup kicks off today and it's pissing it down with the rain? Why are you here?"
Oh, yeah, it's those stories that I love. I know you got a few questions here, and I like when we go to markets in Australia, you don't really see kits, and that's another thing about kit collecting here that a lot of people or listeners will understand is like being based in Australia, we're so far away from the motherland, would you say, like of the UK, Germany, Spain, like just the teams that everyone wants to be fans of. And being based in Australia, sometimes you wonder how a certain kit gets to you. So like looking at my collection, I don't understand how I come across some of these kits. I know some of them, thankfully, to people like Colt Kits, Classic Football Shirts, TSPN, like all these amazing sort of, big brands. But then there's also smaller collectors on Depop and stuff that I've had to sort of hustle, make sure nothing's fake. But I'm so surprised sometimes. Look at my collection. I'm like, how did you make my collection? I know you want to ask me that, but I probably want to ask you that as well because I've got a kit in here that I want to speak about, but is there a kit that you've purchased and you're like, why? Why did I get that?
In terms of like, what's the journey of it, or because because I saw you hang up a shirt which you're going to talk about. Just chuck on that rail before we were recording, and like how that has ended up in Australia or just like in a collection that is mind blowing, and we will touch on that, I imagine, at some point, but. So there's a man called Gustavo Thomas. He runs Portugal Match Worn. He has an obscene collection of Match Worn national team Portugal shirts, and he's got a lot of contacts and all that. So he also occasionally gets some shirts of teams that they played, and I have a match-worn San Marino shirt signed by Andy Selva. I think he won it in an auction and then sold it on to me. And he asked, he said to me that Andy Selva was their leading goal scorer, and I was like, that's incredible. And I think I googled and he had about 4 goals. And I was like, oh, it's not as incredible anymore. But no, that is probably the only shirt that every shirt that I buy, collection wise, themes wise, I'm now starting to go like 90s Bundesliga. But if I see it and I like the design and I like the look of it, I'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really outside of England. So England, I'll get Manchester City and Rochdale because I was born in Rochdale. I won't get any other English
Cool.
teams. And then outside of the UK, England, I'm not fussed on what team it is. If it's a nice shirt, I'm going to pick it up. I follow Dortmund very closely, but I've just bought a Frankfurt shirt. I've got a few Bayern shirts. So I have no loyalty to them to speak. But I
It's
think
so hard. I know what you mean though. Like, and like you support the team, but then you just love that design, you know?
yeah, there's like because 90s Bundesliga is to me it is the peak of kit design. It is one of what
My
you get.
favorite Dortmund.
Yeah. I've got that one too. It's
This
quite
one
funny
reminds me of
because
pajama.
it's quite funny because I've got that shirt with that sponsor on as well because they changed sponsor halfway through the season.
They
And
did. They did.
my name's Oliver Shepherd. And it's S Oliver, and the amount of times where someone's gone, is that personalised? I was like, no, it's just sheer coincidence that
That's
they were
amazing.
sponsored by. Um, but yeah, so your shirts. Is there any like themes that run through? Like I say, I'm 90s Bundesliga
Hmm.
or anything wacky. So I'm sure you've seen the prawn kit, the broccoli kit, like anything like that. I'll try and pick up. But is there any themes that run through your collection?
I'm a sucker. Like again, my sort of work is photography, so I'm always about the final picture. And not to sound sort of cheesy and stuff. I love something that can be shot well. When the client says to me, "Here's some kits, go take photos of them." I know a lot of people don't like the bruised banana, but when I had to reshoot or shoot the last year's version of the Adidas, the bruised banana 2.0 kit, I think that kit was so easy to photograph because people looked at it and their eyes are like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's almost, I call it like the white wall effect in photography, where you could take a photo of anyone against the white wall that's famous and everyone would be like, that's an amazing photo. But if someone was to take a photo of me against the white wall, it'd be like, this guy just had no backdrop. So when it comes to kits, I almost look at a kit and I'm like, wherever this kit goes, this kit will look good. So I think one of my favorite kits that I got, and this is where it comes to that aesthetic. This is a 1998 Penarol.
Oh wow!
So I found this randomly on eBay. Someone in a country town in Australia had it. I don't know how they had a Penarol top, a Uruguayan team. So having this team, a lot of people that support, what's the team called? One of our players at Melbourne City was a former player of the nemesis of this team.
Right.
And every time I wear this, a lot of Uruguayans message me and say they hate me. But looking at this kit, it's the Reebok aesthetic to it that I love. So yeah, look, there is kits that I have, like even the current Nike career kit with the brushstrokes.
Oh yeah.
So, and I know people call this a zebra kit as well compared to this year's third kit for United, but I think it's the end product of the aesthetic approach to the kit rather than a specific year, date, or location or league. I think it's aesthetic.
Yeah, and like just I can see some sleeves on there. Like there's some which are jumping out. You've got oh wow, okay. You've got the so you've got the new United zebra shirt hung up on the wall there. Which
It's not a zebra shirt.
no, it's not. When I think zebra shirt, my go to is the Juventus third shirt. I think it was 14-15 or maybe 15
Yeah,
16. I don't remember, but
yeah.
they had the zebra jacket to go with it, and I really wanted that zebra jacket as soon as I saw it. So I picked up the jacket, and then I was like, "Well, I've got to get the shirt now." So I have both. I try not to wear them at the same time because that would be somewhat tragic.
I think when it comes to a kit, like I come across it and I'm like, oh my God, I love this kit. I don't put too much thought and process to it. And I think I'm just trying to make sure, again, my brain is not working. I should have written everything down, because when it comes to me and remembering everything, I'm not the best. But when I was in Paris, again, I came across this PSG kit, the 94, and I saw the price tag on it. I've never spent this much on a kit, but at 400 Australian, I think it was that 200 and maybe £200. So when I saw this kit, I said to myself and to my wife, I'm like, if I'm to buy something this expensive, I need to love it.
Yeah.
And I, as a collector, am putting so much sort of my hard-earned cash to a piece of material. What is going to give me the pleasure of having it in my collection? Now, I've never worn this kit because I'm so scared to sweat in it. But this kit itself and the Hector design of the PSG, like, and the neck, the collar design, like, I think it's simplicity at its finest. And then when we talk about like the brother sponsor on your shirt, I think this PSG sponsorship was probably my favorite, because it was just two random stickers on a shirt that could have been sold for $10, you know?
Yeah, I think is that 94, 95, I'm guessing, just because of
Correct.
because of the neck, because Dortmund had the same. Now I actually saw that shirt as well. It was in it was like in an antiques warehouse thing.
Oh,
There was
wow.
like different little shops in somewhere in Cheshire. I can't remember where. Um, and I picked it off the rail and I was like, I'm getting this. And I turned it round, and I don't know who, but someone had printed on a Premier League velvet number on the back. And this was before I knew that someone could fix this. So I was like, I have to leave it. I can't. I think it was like number 10, and it had the big old Premier League badge at the bottom of the number. And I can't remember if it had a name on it or not. But I was like, I can't part with my money with this. Like, so I just put it back on the hanger and walked away with my tail between my legs.
Oh, there's a kit at the end of this conversation I want to mention, because it's one of your questions. So what's next for me? Because there's so much I can definitely talk about in this collection.
Well, yeah. So next was what was the latest shirt that you bought or arrived that you'd like to highlight? I know you may have a few coming in, but
I've got.
I
I'm waiting. Yeah, go. Sorry.
I was going to say I can see on the wall that United shirt obviously must have come relatively recently.
Yeah. So thankfully, again, with the company that I work with in a sense of photography, they lent me some kits for reviews, and I purchased that the night that it was released. So it got to me the next day. So I'm really, as a United fan, but also a kick person, like, to have the kit that's making angry people angry. I was so happy to have it. And yeah, I love that. But I think the best kit this year that I received or bought was the Red Star Paris. And now, like, this is where people are going to be like, oh, but you have a PSG kit. How do you have a Red Star kit? You shouldn't be supporting two French. Well, I don't support anyone in the French league. I love the teams. I love the team and what they represent. Yeah.
Yeah,
PSG being money people, but Red Star being community,
yeah,
This kit here, I love, because it caused a massive fight between We Are Acid FC, who's the designer, and Chinatown, New York. I'm not sure if you followed them too,
no,
but there's
I
a
know nothing
massive
about this.
fight about the print. So that's a juicy story you have to get into.
Oh wow, okay. Because I know that the away kit is similar print, but I don't remember the color. Oh, is it
It's
red with
green,
white?
just reversed. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
is it?
green and red, and then this is red and white.
Right. Okay. No, that is a great show, but I didn't know that, so I'm definitely going to have to do some reading on that. But no, that is pretty wonderful. I had a Parma champion shirt arrive yesterday. That was my latest arrival.
The
I
new
think it
one?
was.
Or, oh, sorry, the champion shirt. No, have you seen the
Yeah.
new ones?
I saw them yesterday, but I don't fully remember what they look like. I didn't take it in.
They've got that sort of. I feel like a lot of teams are going for that nostalgic. Just let's make it look really nostalgic, so people give us their money. Arsenal type.
Yeah. I think the best nostalgic shirt that has been released this year that is probably the truest to its predecessor, should we call it, is the Charlton away shirt.
Oh, I haven't
Uh,
seen that. Let me Google
it's
that while we
done
talk.
by Hummel. It's paying homage to an Admiral shirt as well. And Charlton actually used this comparison for their promotion for it.
Mhm.
And it's like it is the like it's spectacular. Like I say, it's probably the truest to form replica that I've seen of one. I can't
Is it
quite
the
see it.
white, the red?
Yeah, like a bit grey, like a grey silver color.
I can't focus on that. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I think it's that one. What I'll do is I'll try and find it as well, and I'll send it over to you just so we know if we're on about the same
Oh,
shirt.
awesome. Well, you mentioned Hummel. I have to say, like, Hummel doesn't get the praise that it should get. They've done some nice kits, and I probably should look into Hummel a lot more because I've been praising Puma. A lot of people don't like the Paisley third kit for Man City, but I kind of like it. I think what Puma has done, and I know some teams have copped the whole hexagon design that Newcastle United has for one of their kits, but I think Puma is trying something different compared to Adidas and Nike. But I do need to do some research and see what Hummel are doing because it looks good. I like this kit that I've already seen.
Yeah, they've Hummel have been doing some great work, and obviously them being with Everton, it's the first time that I remember them being in the Premier League. I think probably it may have been
Oh,
Villa. Maybe it was the last time they were. I'm trying to think because they were with Spurs, but that was like 90s, 80s. I'm willing to be corrected on that. I'm
no,
not.
of course.
Yeah. So in your collection, you spoke about how you questioned how some have ended up in your collection. But are there any shirts you have there that you have any fun anecdotes about, like how the two I spoke about, and this one I picked up. It was like 2 days after I released an episode on this kit of Kitted Out, and I actually did speak to Nicky Weaver, and we spoke about this particular shirt quite heavily because of how iconic it is in Manchester City history. But
Yeah.
yeah, do you have anything that any fun anecdotes? Like you say, you've been given some by some players, or if there's a particular memory which goes along with a shirt, then do so now.
So there's a few shirts that I've got in my collection that have a story. There's two I'll probably mention now that are probably one of my favorite stories. So one of the players who plays at Melbourne City at the moment is a Socceroo, Jamie McLaren. He used to play at Hibs in Scotland, and he's a former. Where did he play? Blackburn. So when he was at Blackburn as a teenager, another Aussie was there, Brett Emerton, and Brett Emerton gave him one of his player worn Feyenoord tops
Oh
when he
wow!
first debuted. So I've got that in my collection in the cupboard. So I don't want to jump up and run off and get that. But I've got this Feyenoord kit that was a match worn extra large kit by Brett Emerton. Not many people know about that kit, but to have it, I've always said to Jamie McLaren himself, I'm like, look, if you ever want it back, like it's always here for you. So don't be scared to ask. But that's probably one of those kits that I have that just made it to my collection without a purpose or a reason, but it's just there. Now,
That's
the second kit I'll mention, and you saw it when I was running off to get it before we started, was this, please correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the 96, 97 Lazio kit.
I don't know the year, but I think you're on the money there a bit.
So the story behind this, okay? So my wife, before COVID, um, has a stall at a local market in Victoria or Melbourne, where I'm from. And it's every Sunday in a posh town called Camberwell. You probably have one of them as well in the UK. Um, and I was walking around and I thought to myself, there's no football kits here ever. I came across one guy that was selling like just Gucci's and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy's a bit posh. Let me have a look at what he's got. And I saw that kit and I said to him, how much for the kit? He's like, $30. I'm like, I'll give you $10 right now. Australian dollars. So what's that? Australian $10. It's probably about £4
Yeah, there or thereabouts.
And I was like, it's a medium. This is rare. Anyways, I did all my checks and I made sure I went to Classic Football Shirts, did the whole zoom in, check every part of detail, make sure it wasn't fake. And I bought it. I went home and I Googled it, checked eBay, and the kit's worth around 190 Australian dollars. So the fact that I have that kit in my collection, I don't like like I support Inter Milan, yeah, but to have a Lazio kit of that sort of caliber and that condition, I'm just like, why are you here? So I'm looking to sell it, but the fact that I have it, just so grateful.
And you spent how much? A tenner on it?
Tenner on it, and I can sell it for 190.
Yeah, so I've just kind of quick Google current exchange rate £5.62 for you British viewers. The Charlton shirt I was on about is their away shirt. I've just sent you the picture. One is the shirt on the website, and then the second picture is the promotional picture that they did with the Hummel shirt, the Admiral shirt alongside it. It's really
Oh wow.
the first shirt I can think of where they've remade it, and the promotion, other than the Arsenal Bruce Banana one, but that was kind of like a big culture thing.
Adidas, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the first one where I've seen like they've acknowledged the roots for it.
And the fact that they used Admiral in the promotion, even though they were with Hummel, you get me?
Mm, yeah,
That's a big call because sometimes manufacturers don't want to be seen like when Nike and New Balance were at war for the Liverpool rights. You want to be seeing them being like, "Hey, New Balance and Nike." Woo!
well, yeah, it's and who was it? So City's away shirt from 2 seasons ago, I think it was. Um, do you know what? It was our last away shirt with Nike, I believe. So it was the navy blue with the green and white pinstripes. That was to
Oh
there was
yeah, I remember that.
a modern remake of the 98, 99 away shirt, which was obviously done by Kappa. So I know there's been a few incidences there where another brand has remade another team's kit. So France's new away shirt, isn't that based on an Adidas kit?
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's the
Yeah,
home shirt,
I
not the away
think
shirt.
it's based on I think one of the World Cups 2000. But yes, I know exactly what you mean. I'm actually thinking like even it's hard like the one I'm wearing currently, you mentioned it before, is a rendition of the 92, 93, was it? Or 94,
I
the blue.
I just know it was the 92 at some point, whether it was 91, 92, or 92, 93.
Yeah.
But
And
like
that's a kid. That's one of the questions you got for me. That's one of my kits that I need to get.
yeah, but so moving on, what is the best memory you have with any of your shirts? Could be from either you wearing it or like nostalgic watching the team playing it.
It's probably there's a few memories, and recently, when I say recent, I think this time last year, I was in Japan with two friends of mine, and we watched Barcelona versus Chelsea, and we were there because one of the guys I was with works for Nike and got us tickets to the game, and we're watching the game, but I was wearing Urawa Reds jersey and just having like I think it was a 98 version of it. And I had just had a lot of people come up to me, just Japanese people, just saying, "Oh, a nice kit." And the fact that these people were coming to say hello, I was like, "Oh, even though I'm in Japan, I'm just some random, a tourist, and everyone wants to say hello." That's probably one of my favorite memories, just having that conversation with people. Um, my friend that I mentioned, his name is Chris. He was wearing a Regina top with Nakamura on the back and walking through the streets of Japan, just getting people being like, "Oh, you got Nakamura on your back." That's the things I love because it's like no matter where you go, someone has that connection. It's almost like when you see someone talking about Marvel or DC, and you're like, "Yeah, Geek Squad unite." That's the sort of thing with kids as well. So it's like I think one of my favorite memories this year of watching a kit in action, or last year, would have to be the third kit for Inter Milan, the black with the Pirelli.
Yeah.
Um, I wear this a lot. I wish I bought two to keep in a bag, but this is like my holy grail that I have recently probably bought like in the past 2 years.
No, understandable why. They've been like Nike last season. Some of their third and away shirts were incredible. Um, Although I think I only got a City shirt last year. I'm trying to think. I've kind of put a halt on buying modern kits, and
Yeah, there's so many.
it's not really through choice, but also like because how there's obviously there's a big shirt culture now, and with these designs, they're harking back or just taking retro influences, but designing a new kit. it's like a limited sale. So that one, the Roma shirts, they all sold out in
Mm.
seconds.
Nigeria.
Yeah, and I seem to obviously Cult Kit's got in a bit of hot water about the Roma away shirt when they uploaded it for, I don't remember how much, but they put out a statement with their reasoning why, and you know, there's a bit of forgiveness, obviously, but like it's the fact that that shirt is selling for that much, and it's not even a year old.
Mm.
So
Yeah, look, it's a tough one, and it's funny because you just got me a thought, and like I have been buying a lot of modern kits now, like new releases, hoping that this kit culture still exists in 10 years time, 20 years time, because everything comes around, you know. Like I think when it comes to vinyl, like I love having vinyl. I recently just bought like I'm a huge fan of like Foals, you know, everything, just the UK sort of rock and indie rock. So I buy these vinyls hoping that my kids in the future, when they're 20, will listen to it and not just chuck it in the bin being like, oh, you know, Dad, who's this Stormzy guy, you know? Um, what's this rap? You know, what's this? And they listen to some like dubstep, but in the future, you know, it's like, I used to listen to dubstep.
I thought Oasis
Dr.
was a
P, you
drink.
know? Yeah, exactly. So like, you know, like our parents used to have things and we're like, oh, you know, give me that Oasis or Duran Duran or, you know, I hope that, you know, the kids that I have today do give value to whoever has them in the future. So that's a good thought I have.
Yeah, and obviously how we've seen the market go. So one of the questions which is coming up, actually I think it was. Do you know what? We'll do it as my next one. So what is the most you've paid for a shirt? Obviously, you were talking about the PSG one where it was two. Is that the one? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
probably the most expensive one.
yeah. So would it be in 200 US?
Pounder.
Yeah. Um, how much that is worth now? Maybe a completely different story. So mine is I've got the 1988 Ajax away shirt, so the TDK, the grail for most people.
Mm.
And I didn't actually save up to buy that one. I was trying to get a 1982 Admiral and Belgium shirt, you know, the tramline one.
Yeah, yeah.
I was able to get that because it was on Class Football Shirts, and someone had just bought it before me. So I was like, well, I mean, I've got all this money. Surely it'd be wise to save. No, I went on and saw that they had the Ajax shirt. So I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. I think I paid 175 for it. And as of late, I've seen recent places, Class Football Shirts, Northern Ireland soccer shirts, and all these different places sell them for like up to £400 now. It's like
Mm.
that is insane. I can't remember when I bought mine. It must have been year and a half ago now. But that is where the market's going, and
It's
that is
funny, man.
almost it's almost definitely where 100% my most expensive shirt that I've bought. I've got a few other expensive shirts which have kindly been gifted to me, and to that I say thank you, Dad, if you're watching.
Oh. That kit, the PSG kit, when you mentioned the price, I was like, I just realized the other day Colt and TSPN had it for sale, or their version that they had for sale at £150. So I could have saved myself $50 or £50. So like that's the thing that scares me, is that are
If it goes
these
the other
kids
way.
going, you know, like is there going to be a crash in the scene? You know,
Mm.
that's the big. I doubt it, because football is a forever loved sort of lifestyle, because we grow up, and even though we don't force it onto our children, but it's going to be a part of their schooling. You know, they're going to go to school and it's like, hey, did you watch the game? So it's going to be a part of our DNA forever.
Yeah, especially with the globalization of it as well.
Mm.
So
And with the internet.
exactly. So there's a big I'm seeing a lot on Twitter now that the as you said, you mentioned the Paisley City third shirt this year. Split opinions amongst City fans. Like to me personally, when it first came out, it did look like the IKEA blind that was in the flat when we moved in. However, a few people have said that I'm going to have to get one, because 10 years time, that may be one that's looked back at and been like, damn, that is pretty good shit. So I'm thinking I might get one, and if I do, my choices are Aguero to get on the back or Phil Foden. It depends how Phil Foden's career goes.
It's
So
been a bit
it's
naughty lately, so be careful with that one. Don't
uh,
want a Ravel Morrison type of lifestyle.
oh god, that'd be a yeah. Imagine that.
Don't worry, Greenwood's in the same hot water. Look, I think you don't have a question here, but I think this is probably a good one for both of us to see this kit in the background. It's probably the same thing to Paisley sort of idea.
Yeah.
Now, I think you and I spoke about this, but this kit here copped a lot of hot water for that one game that everyone knows about. But I think you educated me and told me that it had been worn multiple times.
There's nothing on the coat hanger. Hey.
I
Yay! If I may put this in audio format as well, he's lifted up the 94, 95, was it? It
You
was.
fucking killed me.
um, so it was the grey Manchester United shirt, which they famously got changed at half time away at Southampton because they were losing with the excuse of that they couldn't see each other. And then it was, when was it? It was 2016. It was one of the first Adidas kits you had. The grey one. It was a away one. It was the first grey shirt that
Fan made?
Yeah, that was the first grey shirt that United had since that one.
Worst.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
So that's what I mean. This kit here and your Paisley shirt that you mentioned about City, I tell people, wait till game day. Wait till they wear it. If that kit becomes special, like do you think that this kit here that I mentioned before, the one you couldn't see, if it wasn't for that one game, do you think it would have become a cult classic or
No.
an enemy to the scene?
No, definitely not. It's
That's
because it's rooted, or I don't know, because of that game and the excuse, it is rooted in history because of the game, the excuse. There's going to be a few others with similar examples. I nearly bought a Southampton shirt with Ali Dyer on the back because how hilarious would that be? That a guy who played 10 minutes and then like phenomenal. But it all depends. Obviously, with City being their third shirt, it depends how many times they'll wear it. Obviously, our third shirt of the season just gone, the Tequila Sunrise. I don't know how many times that was played in, especially with it being like third kit, you can reserve for European competition. So it depends how good we do in the Champions League on how successful it is.
Can you think of a kit on top of your head right now and just remember the kit because of a photo of a special moment? And that's what the kit,
The Adebayor when he ran the length of the pitch and slid in front of the Arsenal fans. It was a City Umbro shirt. It was very basic. I remember the material as well. It's just a white shirt with a blue shirt with a white collar and trim on the sleeves. But like that is just, I don't think it is particularly expensive if I were to try and find it again. But the audacity to score against your old club and run probably the fastest he has ever ran in his whole career to celebrate in front of the away fans. I think he was given like a 10-game ban for it as well because he was.
I think it was, yes.
Yeah, he nearly started a riot. Because I was at the game, I remember like having to. Paramedics had to see to a steward because you got flattened.
It's like for me, it's the '98 UEFA Cup Inter Milan. So if I tell you that, do you remember the kit?
I was born in '97, so
do you know the kit,
I'd have to see it again. Like, am I?
If I say Inter Milan, Ronaldo and Adriano.
Yeah.
See, like that's what I mean. It's that Mandela effect that kits do to you. It's like that thing where you think about the kit, but it's not the kit, but you remember the kit and you don't remember anything else. It's a weird. It's like a memory play in our minds where there's a certain photo or something that reminds us,
almost like a knee-jerk reaction of you see the shirt or something, like you can see the shirt hung up and you can see the player wearing it. It's kind of how it's a weird one, but how the 2017 City away shirt, the black one with the burgundy sleeves, that I always see Leroy Sané in that. It doesn't matter who's wearing it, where it is. I see Leroy Sané in that, and that is how I remember how far back he signed, because I'm pretty sure that was the first kit he played in for us. Well, first season of kits anyway. There are a few times where I've been discussing how long I've had City have had a player for, and I'm able to track back by the kit that he wore, because I remember this kit he wore and this was X year. So it's quite upsetting, really.
Oh, right.
But no, that yeah, because you talk about the historical, the invisible shirt. There's also the Cantonar Kung Fu kick.
Mm-hmm.
That shirt. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you had it somewhere.
Yeah, dude, there it is.
Exactly. That one now is also ingrained in history because it's
History.
the one that he wore at that moment of madness. So yeah, it's a good thought. I'm sure there's many other shirts that I'm just spacing on, and I'm sure there's going to be someone watching this who's so annoyed that we're not.
All like there's yeah, so no, DiCanio, one when he done that kick. Who's the one that did a bad salute into the crowd? There's like a lot of these kids like Fowler doing that no snorting moment, like that kid. Like there's always these sort of moments that you remember for the bad, and you're like, that was the kid, you know?
Yeah, and this, but then obviously as a for your club, I'm sure there's going to be ones that work the other way. For example, I'll always remember the 2008 home shirt for City because of the Alano free kick he scored against Newcastle. That I still don't know how that went in, to be honest. uh, so we kind of already touched on it, but are there any other shirts, any examples of shirts that you have that you still don't quite understand how you have come into the possession of?
Yeah, definitely. There's heaps. Look, when the Nigeria kit came out in 2018, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Like I'll be honest, I didn't want to get it. And then one day I walked into one of our local shops, which is like a Pro Direct or what would you guys have? Sports Direct? Wasn't
Yeah,
it? It's
Sports
just a
Direct or JD or
yeah.
something.
JD, that's the one. So ours is called Rebel Sports, and we have a JD, but JD doesn't really sell kits in store. I walked in with my mum, and I was like, "Oh, do I get this kit?" And this lady grabbed the kit, and then my mum looked at me, and she's like, "She used to be a former Balkan cop, by the way, so Eastern Europe." And my mum snatched it off the lady, and she goes, "Sorry, my son had this," and I'm holding the kit like shaking. I'm like, "Why do I have this kit?" I bought it, went home, and then I found out that it sold out globally. And I was like, oh shit, I bought a kit, you know? Now, that kit, it's sitting right here. I'm not sure why I have it. But then I've also got this kit here. Oh, it's so neatly tucked away. I don't want to ruin it. Give me 2 seconds. You can.
That's fine. I'll fill the silences. I know you've got AirPods in, so you can hear me. That shirt as well, the Nigeria one. I remember when the day it came out, I got into work early, just coincidentally. I logged on. I was like, oh, let's have a look because I know it's coming out. So I logged on. There was a medium. I put it in my basket. But it was a couple of days before payday, so I didn't have enough money. So I was like, oh, that's fine. Messaging my girlfriend, being like, oh, cool, that shirt's out today. I'll get it at payday. And she's like, oh no, send me the link and I'll buy it. And I tried to, but I closed the tab at this point. So I went back onto the Nike website. It was down, like it was crashed. And then I go back on like 10 minutes later. I was like, oh, it's sold out globally.
Oh my God. That the new Nigeria kit comes out soon, so that's going to be a crazy time. And even the Inter Milan third kit for this year, the remake of the '98 UEFA Cup kit, that's going to go crazy. I'm just hearing rumors already that some stores or even just companies like JD Sports, some of the companies out there that are looking to sell this kit are losing their amount or their quantity that they had ordered because other companies are now over ordering.
Oh wow.
So I'm hearing a lot of rumors that this is going to be the biggest fight of the year trying to get this kit.
I can understand why, because I did an episode of Kitted Out on that 2018 Nigeria kit, and it was in Nike Town in London, I think just off Oxford Street. You had to queue up, and you could only buy one thing from the
Yeah, I
collection at a
remember seeing the
time, and then you
footage.
had to go back and queue up. Um, and like people were queuing up all day just to get, and they'd leave and maybe only leave with a sodding bucket hat. Imagine that. You queue to try and get a shirt or a jacket or something, and you leave with a hat. But no, the culture around that shirt was immense, and like you say, some people will probably have it and be like, "I'm not too sure why I own this," and then they look and go, "Oh, okay, now I understand why I have it." But
Yeah, look. Yeah, go. Sorry, continue.
I was just about to say you have the shirt, so what was you've unfolded it now? What?
Yeah, like the second shirt that I had that I'm still like not sure. I won a bidding war on eBay and I've got this shirt for 25 Australian dollars. It's the 98 2000 Barcelona kit. And to be honest, my wife's been complaining about the smell in this room, and now I've realized it's this kit. It literally smells like an old man named Charles. Um, not oh shit, I just realized the prince of
Why?
the royal family. I didn't mean that. Sorry.
No, that's all right. But it's weird because that description actually does make sense, and I'm sure everyone who's watching this will go, "Yeah, no, I know the smell."
But this kit, like, I won it. It came to my house. This was pre-COVID, and I looked at it. I'm like, it's okay. I like it. It's got good memories to it. But again, like Barcelona, I like Valencia and the in the Spanish league. But yeah, it's a kit from that I just have.
Mm. I mean, at least you said Charles and Andrew. However, Andrew doesn't sweat. Moving on from potential paedophilia. What? How long are we recording for? This is just spiraled now. What are your favorite shirts? Do you have like a standout favorite, or I'll give you a top five if you can whittle it down to a top five. Do you have one?
Oh, so many. Like, look, I'll be honest. There's my top five always changes every day. Every
Yeah.
time I talk to someone, there's always a new kit. Looking at the collection that I have, and anyone listening to it visually, like, there's so many. I can't really just say I've got a top five. So if I was to say a kit that's on my mind that I always want to like pick up and wear, it would definitely have to be this Colo top that I've been wearing a lot lately.
Wow.
To be exact, I think it's 2002. Funny story about this one again. I love this kit because it was the first kit I bought at Classic Football Shirts Manchester. I walked in my first time being in Manchester. I cried because my whole dream ever since I was a kid was to live in the UK or live in Manchester to be exact. And I didn't want to buy a local, the sort of UK team. And I found a South American club just on the racks. And I was like, yep, this is it. So if I was to say my top five or top kit right now, it would definitely have to be this one. And again, South American sponsor like Cristal is another one that I love about the sort of design of this kit.
It's in long sleeve too. Like that
Yeah, long. I should have mentioned that.
long sleeve. Oh, that makes any shirt better. I have just
Yeah.
and that the old Nike thing as well. What does make me laugh about the old Nike authenticity in the bottom corner is it has the size on it quite large. So
I know.
if you were a bit what's the word I'm after? Self-conscious on what size shirt you'd wear, you'd maybe try and avoid wearing them shirts. Oh wow, okay. What's that? Is that
So
90?
like,
That's 93, 94. No, it was after. That must have been 96, I reckon. 96
this
Dortmund
one
shirt.
too, I think has
Audio
it
was. Yeah,
at the
yeah.
bottom. That was my
Classic.
favorite thing about Nike. I wish they brought that back. The new ones they have on the bottom now, I think. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the new
it's
ones are
just big.
just so
No.
like it's just sad. It makes me cry.
Yeah, and it does actually peel off on some of the ones. So I've got a, when we were with Nike, I've got a Man City training shirt.
That breaks
Obviously,
my heart.
because it was like the material it was a plastic transfer as opposed to being embroidered on. And just after a
Hmm.
couple of washes, it's peeled off, and you can see the exact mark where it used to be. Um, but it's like, I mean, I understand why they have left it. Obviously, it must be technologically lighter or whatever. But I
Yeah.
don't know. There's some things that I'd sacrifice practicality for style.
Oh, always, always. I think the next question is going to be a heartbreaking one for everyone listening or watching. Just trying to make
Yeah,
sure it's the right ear.
it is. So my next question is: do you have any shirt heartbreaks, be it damages while they've been in storage or being pipped the last second on eBay? I have a friend who's been after a couple West Brom shirts from the '90s, and he's winning on eBay until the last minute, where someone just comes in and bids like an
Yeah.
extra 20 quid in the last second. And it's happened to me a few times too. So what's happened while shirts? Well, what's happened for you?
Oh man, eBay does break my heart. This is an eBay buy, but the whole story about this kit, it was a 97 away kit. I think 97 to 99 away kit for United. I remember Beck's wearing it at Dwight York and all that. When I got this kit in the UK, or not this kit that I'm holding, but I went to Old Trafford and I was walking around the shop and I saw this kit. And this is my hate for score draw kits. Yeah. Ah, the anger that when that word comes up, I literally would punch a hole in the wall. I bought a replica version of this kit, not knowing that it was a replica. I don't know why. I made a biggest mistake. I was in a feeling of like, yes, I'm in Old Trafford. I bought the kit, went to Classic Football, and I saw the same kit for $10 cheaper, and that with the original kit design. Anyways, came back to Australia within weeks. I went on eBay and I saw an extra large long sleeve version. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bought it. I won it for like 80 Australian dollars. But
it is. It
this is,
is for a City fan. It is a very nice shirt.
yeah, look, if you're listening to this in audio form, I'm shaking my fist and I'm screaming and running around the room. Just visualize that. The name set on this is wrong. The number is wrong.
And
The person on eBay stooged me.
if someone is listening, they think that doesn't sound too bad. What we'll do is, if you have a picture of that, if you want to send that over
Send
to
it.
me, I will tweet that so people can see the name
Oh,
set in comparison to what it is, because at that time it was the chunky letters. It was nice. It was hearty.
mm.
They that seems very thin and uh, a bit traumatic.
Stand at
Um,
your local Sports Direct.
I understand the when you put up the score draw on and like the kind of ecstasy of being like, oh, I'm in this place, I've got it. I haven't had that experience. My relationship with score draw, I personally don't mind them if you know it's what you're buying. I
Mm.
like I say, I own a few score draw shirts, mainly because of price wise, because to
Mm-hmm.
get the original it's so expensive. However, after the 2018 World Cup, I went on eBay and I saw the France away shirt for a tenner with Mbappe on the back. I was like, that is going to go down in history. So I bought it. And I don't know how I didn't see, but on the picture, there was no sodding Nike logo. It was just some fan replica, or maybe just some incredible dodgy fake. And I didn't realize this until it arrived, and I gave it away a couple of days ago. But I don't know how I didn't realize, because I also screenshotted and sent it to a few people being like, guys, look at this steal, like Mbappe on the back for a tenner. And they were like, oh, what a great steal. They didn't even realize as well.
Oh
Like,
man.
I just built up such hype around it and no one had noticed there was no bloody manufacturing logo.
I was gonna say, I thought when you were saying you bought a score draw kit, I was like, did you buy another red England shirt? Oh, look, score draw is fine. I think there's this new trend that people are doing where it's a white t-shirt, or for example, the Liverpool version, there's a red t-shirt with Carlsberg, and people go out and spend $80 Australian dollars on it, or 50 quid a pound. And it's just like, why? Why are you buying a red t-shirt with Carlsberg on it? Like it's
Mm.
not anyway retro football. Do you get what I mean? That's that new trend that people are doing.
Yeah, yeah, it is a strange one. Like I said,
Or
because
Nintendo.
yeah, like some people have bought score draw shirts for Christmas, and like they're told like by a relative who isn't fully in the clear. Like I've seen many stories of
Mm.
people being like, "Oh, I found this football shirt in a charity shop," and they're like, "Oh, amazing, what is it?" And it turns out to be a score draw one, and they're somewhat deflated. You did mention England. I only have one England shirt, and it is a score draw one. It's
Yeah.
I can't remember the Admiral 82. Is it the blue panel with the red one underneath, or is it the other way around? I can't remember. That is the only England shirt I own. I don't own an official one, although I own like 8 to 10 Germany shirts. And
Oh man.
if I mention that to a balding, chunky, warm drinking Stella man with 3 lions tattooed somewhere on his chest, he is not going to like it.
He'd be like, you're the reason why we Brexit.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, he will. Yeah, there'll be many political things shouted at me, which are very
Don't worry, I
problematic.
don't have a Socceroos kit up here. I've got a Japanese kit up here, the World Cup, with Nakamura on the back.
Like it, like
So
it.
like when it comes to like Australian Japanese, they almost took over.
Yeah. Yeah. We always go for shirts with a bit of bad blood. Finally, you touched on it again. But are there any Holy Grail shirts you have? One that you've been
Yeah.
after for a while, or a couple that you've been after for a while that still managed to escape your grasp?
Look, when it comes to fake shirts, and like we just spoke about the whole score draw kits, um, this kit alongside like the Brazil kit does get a lot of replica versions of it, and it is the UEFA winning '98 Inter Milan kit that I love. Whether it's the Umbro or even the later version of Adriano wearing the Nike version, I think it was a total 90 design. But it's this kit, the hooped version of Inter Milan's kit that I would do anything to have. With the new version coming out, like I said, I'm going to buy 2 or maybe 3 kits, and fingers crossed it comes out in long sleeve. But that's my holy grail. Like that kit, I will cry for it.
And you mentioned the 92, the original United 92 shirt. I think anything
Yeah.
Kappa for me, for City, is going to be a grail for me. But finally, if you'd like to promote anything, I know you've got your socials. If anyone wants to find you on the interwebs, where can they do so?
Well, I think first of all, I just want to say thanks to you, because I think when it comes to the football scene, a lot of people don't like to mingle or talk or become friends. And I think you've opened up and welcomed me into the conversation. And I really like that. I'm really honored to have a friend over in Manchester. So hopefully we can collab again in the future in person. But I think another shout out again to just the football community out there for working as a team, because if we all work together, it's going to make everyone's sort of potential careers or goal they want to seek come quicker. We're all in it together in the end, and if we want to, achieve something, we have to work as a team. And yeah, look, when it comes to my football stuff, you can find me online as Thatfootballphotog. I do a lot of football stuff, and you may have seen some of my stuff for Australian football in Soccer Bible. So I do hope that I can do a lot more. And I think my goal is just to make more friends in the football scene.
I'm sure it's a very welcoming community, the shirt community, that is. There are areas of football Twitter I try and avoid, like the plague. Although I did see someone say we need to stop using the phrase avoid like the plague, because people during the coronavirus have shown clearly people won't avoid the plague. But I avoid branches of Twitter. However, the shirt community is very nice. But thank you for coming on. This was the first proper episode of Kit Room. So if anyone did enjoy it, hopefully one person did. I did. Then please like, subscribe. I don't know. I've never done a closed a YouTube video before, but leave a comment. Why not? Go on. Tell me your favorite shirt ever.
And please correct me if I said anything wrong.
And me too. Like, we don't claim to be experts, but yes, thank you very much for watching. These will come again soon. Hopefully, when COVID is over, I will get to travel and see collections. However, even if COVID wasn't a thing, I don't own a passport, so getting to Australia would have been a bit difficult.
We'll smuggle you in, don't worry.
Yeah, it's fine. No one needs to know. But yes, once again, thank you for being on, and thank you for watching, guys. And we will speak to you soon, or see you soon. Bye.
Thanks, guys.